Today I want to share something personal with you. About a year ago, I stood in my packed closet having what I can only describe as a mini breakdown. Despite having decluttered my closet 2 years prior and then having a clutter relapse where I bought a ton of clothes again, trying to refigure my style, hoping it would make me happy during a very difficult time in my life, I felt completely overwhelmed. I had this beautiful home filled with things I had carefully selected, and yet I still felt trapped by all of it. What I've learned since then is that the journey to a simpler, more intentional life isn't just about what we own, it's about what owns us. And often what owns us are our mindsets. We don't even realize what we're carrying. So today, let me introduce you to the 7 mindsets that could be hindering you and keeping you stuck that you are trying to break free from. I call these the 7 anchors, and I have personally struggled with every single one of them. Remember my packed closet from my clutter relapse? Well, a lot of the things I bought and clung onto during that time was because of a scarcity mindset. This scarcity mindset whispers things like, there will never be enough. Never enough time, energy, or resources, and we must cling on to what we have for the just-in-case moments. Just last winter, I had a pair of jeans I had bought 4 to 5 years ago, and they were very good quality and fit wonderful. They were my favorite. And since then, I have gained some weight, so I went up a size. But I do not really foresee myself going back down into those size pants again. But because they were such good quality and my favorite, I thought, well, what if I accidentally lose all this weight? I have to hold on to them because I'm not going to find the good quality anymore, and they're my favorite. So I had the scarcity mindset that I would just hold on to it because I would never find the same kind again or might need them one day. The truth is, those 2 pair of jeans were just taking up physical and mental space in my small closet, absorbing energy that could have been used for things that truly matter. The next one is the comparison trap. Sarah's house is so pristine and looks so much better than mine. Then John over there started his minimalism journey and simple living journey 6 months after I did, and he's got rid of 70% of his items. He's way ahead of me on this journey. I feel like I'm really falling behind. Does this sound familiar or ring any bells for you? When we measure our journey against someone else's, it takes away the whole point of intentional living, which is aligning our life to our personal values and not someone else's highlight reel. Another one is the all or nothing mindset. This is one that has taken me a long time to master, and I'm starting to really get it. It goes something like this. I ate 1 processed meal. Therefore, my entire clean eating plan is ruined. Or I bought 1 impulse purchase on my mindful consumption journey. Therefore, I'm a failure and I just need to quit. This mindset creates a perfect environment for giving up and thinking negatively and critically about ourselves. But transformation is not about perfectionism. It's about direction. And it's okay to stop, take a pause, look back, and reflect at our choices and pat ourselves on the back for what we did right and try to adjust and make changes the things we messed up on. It's all a learning process. The next one is the future happiness fallacy. It's where you think, I'll be happy when my house is perfectly clean and organized, or I'll feel peace when I've reduced all of my possessions in half. I'll start enjoying life as soon as I accomplish all my goals. This mindset right here perpetually keeps happiness always around the corner, but always out of reach. The next mindset is perfectionism. Nothing prevents us more from being a perfectionist. I didn't do YouTube for a very long time because I thought I had to learn everything before I started. And it prohibited growth, a fun journey for no reason, because in my head, I thought I needed to be perfect. The truth is we learn as we go, and that is totally okay. So whatever you are wanting to start, but you are procrastinating because you don't feel ready, my advice to you and something I have learned, imperfect action is better than perfect procrastination. You see, perfectionism keeps us stuck, whereas if we just do things imperfectly, at least we're doing something and we're rolling the ball. Don't let yourself stay stuck. The next one is is identity attachment. I'm thinking about the items that I have kept for fantasy hobbies, the hobbies that I wanted to do and I was identifying myself with, that I never had the time or energy and really the passion to do. Therefore, I held on to it. When we attach ourselves and our identity to our items or habits and possessions, letting go can feel like losing a piece of ourselves, which is why it is so difficult. Another one is busyness as our worth. I think this is a very common one, to be honest with you. This mindset equates a very busy schedule, and somehow we think that we have a more meaningful life because we're so busy. We glorify exhaustion and wear it as a badge of honor. But what if your worth has nothing to do with how productive you are? These mindsets actually kept me stuck in cycles of accumulation, comparison, and disconnection from my true values and desires. Breaking free from these mindsets did not come overnight, but it began the moment I started cultivating new ways of thinking. Mindsets that create space rather than constriction. Now let's move on to the mindsets that actually set us free. The enough mindset. The antidote to scarcity is not abundance. It is actually sufficiency. I have enough. I am enough. It is the quiet recognition that in this moment and in this time, you have enough and you are enough. When I started practicing this mindset, I began asking myself this question before each purchase. Do I already have enough to meet this need? Often the answer is yes. And this has saved me thousands of dollars and a ton of space in my home. The next one is progress over perfection. So now I celebrate my successes over my failures and focus on what I've learned and how far I've come rather than how much further I still have to go. That's way too overwhelming and that is going to stunt growth. So look at the positive, focus on the good, and forget the rest, but still learn from it. So try this. At the end of each day, grab a pen and paper or just your wonderful mind and reflect on 3 small things you have done today that has helped you move towards your goals and values. No matter how tiny they seem, they are significant and you are moving forward. Another incredible mindset to adapt is intentional attention. Our attention is our most precious resource, and what we focus on expands in our lives. I now schedule daily audits throughout my day, keep me on task, and ask myself, is what I am focusing on currently and working on bringing me closer to my goals and my values for this week and for today? Or is what I'm doing actually pushing me farther away? And from there, I'm able to collect that data and reassess. So I'll continue doing what I was doing or I'll reprogram. This simple practice has absolutely revolutionized how I spend my time and my mental energy. And I have been so much more productive since implementing this particular practice. Next is value-based decision-making. When faced with decisions, big or small, I personally filter them through my core values rather than just convenience or social pressure. This has made decision-making infinitely simpler for me. Should I keep this item? Does it align with my values of functionality or beauty? Should I accept this invitation? Does it support my values with meaningful connection? Is it life-giving? The next one is cyclical growth. Nature does not grow in a straight line, and neither do we. Understanding that growth has seasons has given me permission to embrace rest, reflection, and occasional regression as a natural part of the journey. I recently shared a video about the 10 things I've learned over the past 8 years of minimalism, and I showed a lot of failings in that video and a lot of clutter. And you know what? That is okay. Those items are gone. That ship has sailed. I have learned so much through my failings. A lot of our growth is learned through our failings and by our failings. So never discount your failings or mistakes. That is where the lessons are. The next thing I want to touch on is present moment awareness. This present moment is actually when life happens. When I catch myself looking to the future or to the past, I use the 5 sense check-in, noticing 5 things I can see, 4 things I can touch, 3 things I can hear, 2 things I can smell, and 1 thing I can taste. This instantly grounds me into the here and the now. I've wasted way too much time trying to live in the future, regretting the past, trying to go back and fix things. That cannot happen. You miss so much life doing that. You miss so many good moments. Now, I live in the present. I live now. We are not promised today, and we can never get tomorrow back. So practice living in the present and make the best of it. The next thing is gratitude as a practice. Gratitude isn't just a feeling. It is actually a practice that helps rewire our brain to notice what we have rather than what we don't have. So each morning, I list out in my head of 3 things that I am grateful for. Things that I would normally miss if I didn't sit there and actually think about it. It could be as simple as birds chirping outside, a cup of coffee, or just the sunlight streaming through the windows, or maybe some rain. Always trying to find the positive and the gratefulness in situations, even when we wouldn't normally think of it. This simple practice has actually made contentment my default rather than negativity or something I'm always chasing after. It helps me be grounded, and it also helps me to enjoy current moment I am in rather than wishing I was somewhere else. The path to a more simpler and intentional, happier life isn't paved with organizing bins or decluttering methods, although there is a place for that. It is actually built on the mindsets we cultivate every single day. Quality of life is determined far more by the mindsets we cultivate daily rather than by the quantity of possessions we own. So which of these mindsets resonate with you? Which ones are you ready to let go of? And which ones do you want to strengthen?
Holding my head again, making my way through crowded thoughts. Sometimes it's hard to get out of it. Broke my heart in the dark. I was just trying to feel something, falling asleep to the sound of it. Always used to let you clean up the messes, down on my knees, thought I couldn't stand up on my own. Turns out sometimes you're stronger alone. Bringing out the fight, yeah, bring on all the lightning. 'Cause I'm looking for a hero, look inside the mirror. I found one. Oh, carry the hurt when it gets too hard. Pick it up, dust it off, and I fall down.